The Crooked Anchor Season 3, Episode 11, Say What You See. Another day at the pub. Brian stands in the middle of the bar, looking unnaturally proud of himself. Gunther lies at his feet with a look of weary disinterest. The room hums with quiet conversation until Brian claps his hands together. "Boys," he announces dramatically, "okay, I have to come clean." The room hushes slightly. David turns his head. Pete doesn't move but somehow becomes more alert. And Raymond pokes his head out of the mop cupboard with a biscuit in each nostril. I've put my name forward for catchphrase on ITV. There's a brief silence. David blinks once, slowly. "Bri," he says with forced enthusiasm, slapping Brian's back with a bit too much pent-up emotion. "Bloody good job, buddy." "Thank you, David," Brian replies, eyes narrowing slightly. Pete doesn't even move his lips. "You despise Stephen Mullen." Brian waves it off. Nah, got a lot of respect for the guy." Pete blinks. "Last week you said he was the most unbearable presenter you've ever come across." "Well," Brian scratches his head, "I was in a bad mood. He gets too much hate. It can't be easy, presenting with a smile that wide. Might be glued on, who knows. I'll be catching the train this afternoon," he continues, puffing up. "I am bloody good at this game. Been shouting answers at the telly for years." From the kitchen, "Catchphrase casserole." Shouts Clifford, mishearing and deeply misunderstanding the situation. And with that, Brian throws on his long coat and heads for the door. The next evening, the gang are huddled around the pub's TV, all crammed onto the worn-out sofas like a local football team awaiting sentencing. Even David has joined, though his arms are crossed and his eye is twitching slightly. Biggins is perched atop the telly, ominously silent. The screen flashes up, catchphrase with Stephen Mullen. There's Brian on the first podium, already looking like he's planning to rewrite the show's format. "Let's meet our first contestant," Mullen beams. "It's Brian. Tell us a bit about yourself." Brian leans toward the mic. "Right. Well, I was born in Basingstoke in 1952. Cold winter, that one. Met my first wife, Sandra, at a meat raffle in 74. Mullen's smile falters. "Okay, Brian, moving on." "Sorry?" Brian interrupts, deadly serious. "I wasn't finished." "I know, Brian, but we've got to keep things moving." Stephen chuckles, glancing off stage. Brian leans in again, eyes narrowed. "Happy-go-lucky twat," he mutters, just loud enough for the mic to catch it. The boys back at the pub freeze. Pete's pint hovers mid-air. David mutters something about karmic justice. The game begins. The first catchphrase appears, some kind of cartoon duck with a kettle on its head. "Come on, Brian," Mullen chirps. "Just say what you see." Brian squints at the screen, lip twitching. "Literally just say what you see." Brian erupts. "I see a smiling, grinning, smarmy TV host trying to make a fool out of me in front of the nation. That's what I bloody see! Brat!" Mullen, still smiling with the professionalism of a hostage, touches his earpiece. "All right, we'll just take a little break there. Don't go anywhere." Emergency ad break. At the pub, no one says anything. Raymond has somehow stuck a biscuit to each cheek like war paint. David is whispering, "Oh my God," under his breath. The show returns. Brian is gone. The camera pans to just two contestants, standing very far apart, one of them clearly still trembling. Pete simply says, "Mullen." 6 hours later, the pub door creaks open and Brian walks in like a man who's stared into the abyss and insulted its presenter. He walks to the bar, doesn't say a word, pulls a newspaper from his coat and sits. He mutters, "5 down. Clue, humiliation in front of millions." Biggins flutters from the beam above the bar and squawks loudly, "Guess this catchphrase!" He then flies directly into the toilet. David pours a drink without speaking. Raymond tries to pat Brian on the back but misses and pats Gunther instead. Another perfectly normal evening at the Crooked Anchor.